between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington football team. Time for a much-needed and much-welcome diversion. The NFL is back. Here we go, week 1. Pulls it in at the 13. Oh, good return up past the 30. And they'll have good field position here as he's out of bounds up at about the 34-yard line. Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. That is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Play action, it's Newton. And he connects with Ebron. And he brings this up to the 46, good enough for the first. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Washington defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Tackle made there by Matt Milano.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
And it's 3rd down.
Get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the first down. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
A gain of 4 yards. It's now 4th down.
On 4th down, Newton. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And this crowd into it early. Their guys stand tall on the opening drive of the football game.
A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10.
Just shy of midfield at the 48. Here's the first carry for Austin Ekeler. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
Back at the 41-yard
It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. After the run, Goff going to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by the rookie, Jalen Johnson.
And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
1st and 10.
Not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 29-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They give to Chubb out of the gun. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And it's 3rd down.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Buying time to his left. And he couldn't hang on. Almost an interception there defensively. Instead, it brings up 4th.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they have to give up the football again after this one.
Now, remember, they were unsuccessful earlier in this first quarter. Going for it on 4th. They're going to try a 2nd time. They will go for it. Now Newton. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Lavonte David. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Running on 1st down, Ekeler. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Brought down.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
On the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 44-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll run here with Ekeler. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
long. It's gone. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
For Corey Davis.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Give the tackle there to Danielle Hunter.
2 yards.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Newton. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington.
Jason
Short throw, pick 6 right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Brings up second.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. A run for Nick Chubb. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down.
Out of the gun, Newton. Flushed, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
And Danielle Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground.
And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
The offense stays put. They failed twice already in this first half, but they're going to go a 3rd time here on 4th down. They are going to go for it. It's Newton. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
Out there setting ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
Yeah, they've got themselves a 7-0 lead here, but that, you recall, was a defensive touchdown, so still nothing as of yet for this offense.
Well, they're happy to have the lead. We got to cut them a little bit of slack. It's still early enough, just a couple of drives so far, but if this one goes nowhere, those adjustments that we talk about, they shouldn't wait for halftime. They should go ahead and start working on them right now.
That one goes for 30 yards.
4-yard line.
Out of the gun, Goff. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete here.
On the keeper.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You circle the Pro Bowl. Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
So much about defending the pass is being able to be right there at the moment the ball gets to the receiver, and he was right in his hip pocket, helping force that incompletion.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Throwing on 3rd, Goff. Aguilar has it. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Here is Eckler. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
A 33-yard attempt.
Myers' kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness.
And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down.
The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
14.
An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down.
indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. As the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. Back deep, Deontay Harris. Fielded at the 20. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10.
48-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get into field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action. It's gone. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked.
Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout,
as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. A shotgun snap for Goff. This is caught. It's Greg Olsen. A good pickup, but it will come on what should be the final play in this first half. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the Eagles' 45-yard line.
Now it's gone.
He'll air this one out deep for Davis.
Touchdown, Washington! Corey Davis, 45 yards.
And Washington is able to stretch their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
2nd and 10, third quarter of the season opener. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 16 yards, a first down.
16 yards. And an Eagle first down.
On the ground, it's Chubb. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
38-yard line.
Now on 2nd and 13. Newton.
You got to figure the further they fall behind.
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And it's Washington that scoops it up.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. 2nd down from the 8. They can get a first down by reaching the 5. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
And the lead is now 24.
Makes this Washington 24. Eagles nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
Off play action. Newton. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, coming into this one, we expected that this offense would have trouble with this defense, and that's exactly the way that this game has gone. Pressure in his face. Coverage downfield has been tight. That led to another incompletion. This defense, they're exactly who we thought they were coming into this one.
In the third quarter here in D.C., a 2nd and 10 upcoming. To throw again. Newton. He goes right back to Metcalf, this time complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. DK Metcalf, 75 yards. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit.
Conversion.
Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Now this time he'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Tanner Muse with it. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Intercepted.
And he may want to track down that football, because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. Gets this one to Le'Veon Bell. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
First down, Eagles.
On first down, Newton. He'll find Metcalf. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
On the pickup, it's 2nd and inches at the 22-yard line.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. Chubb. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now, because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Brought down by Earl.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, here's Newton. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
The Eagles on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Now a play fake, and it's Newton. Steps away to his left. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Now, 4th down.
Going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They snap it to Newton. Sliding out of the pocket. He can run for it, and he will. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find a good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Goff. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Washington on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, here's Goff. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Mack Wilson. That is the play they needed in a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
Chubb, the ball carrier.
5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal. The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was. And when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
Eagles 16.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. On the return, Deontay Harris. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
Deontay Harris on the return. Washington takes over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. There's still plenty of time here in the 4th quarter. Just a 1-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and 2-point conversion. A field goal here on this drive does very little at this stage. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
1-yard gain.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 11 yards there, 1st down.
Washington.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Austin Eckler, the ball carrier.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them. It's still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Here's the backup now, the former Badger, Melvin Gordon. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And it's taken in at the 9. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, the defense got its job done, forcing the punt. Now the formula pretty simple. They need to find the end zone here. A field goal doesn't help them much. Play action. It's Newton. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. And that'll bring up second down.
2nd and 10.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. They fake the give. Newton. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Lavonte David. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie A.J. Terrell. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Lavonte David. And this is one heck of an individual performance we're witnessing. That is now his 3rd interception. And keep in mind, folks, this isn't a safety or a cornerback. This is a linebacker.
Does this feel to you like he's having a flashback? Because a lot of these linebackers we see in the NFL, in high school, they were offensive stars.
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Washington. Austin Eckler, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the interception by the Washington defense leads to a touchdown. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action.
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Chubb. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Chubb on the carry.
12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
A gain of 12. And an Eagle
On the carry, it's Chubb. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. On 2nd and 9, Newton. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off near the 34. Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You got to go compete for the ball so that you don't get another one picked up.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Yetur Gross-Matos in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now a play fake, and it's gone. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left.
brings up 4th.
Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. One last throw here for Newton. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that will be incomplete.